I think the school gave me a lot of confidence. I came in not really knowing who I was or what I wanted out of life. And I think TCS gave me a lot of opportunities to really practice and fall on my face a couple times and give me the resources to kind of pick myself up and try again.
Hi, I spoke with Lade, who graduated from Trinity College School in 2014. During her 2 years at the school, Lade took advantage of the many extracurriculars at the school, which helped build confidence and good habits. Having recently completed medical school, Lade appreciates just how well TCS prepared her for post-secondary education. Take a look. How has your experience in high school prepared you for your post-secondary education? And do you think your high school influenced your choice of post-secondary school or program?
Mm-hmm. I went to TCS for 2 years for my last 2 years of high school. And TCS really helped shape what I'm practicing in now and what I went to do for university. Going to TCS at an older age was excellent for me because I had the opportunity to kind of make my own way in the school. TCS was very supportive with regards to career activities and extracurricular activities, and I jumped in with both feet to take advantage of those opportunities for me. They had a one-on-one guidance counselor where we were able to spend as much time with them as we needed in order to help our applications and just to talk about career choices and things that we could do in our future careers. And I think that definitely helped me, just having the opportunity to talk to a dedicated person whenever I needed help with thinking about my career choice. TCS was very leadership focused, and they really focused on having well-rounded students and students having opportunities to excel in different areas, not only academically, but with sports, arts, drama, music. And I think that also helped me. It almost helped give me more confidence in being independent with what I wanted to do, not only academically, but extracurricularly wise. I was able to choose what sports teams I would like to play on. I did Trinity Singers, which is our choir. I was involved extensively in volunteering and community service. And those all set me up with good habits to follow when I got to university. So I felt like when I got to university, I was able to hit the ground running and find my own place in university as well, not only with academics, but again, volunteering and other things as well.
So you mentioned you attended for the last 2 years of high school. I'm curious, what brought you to that decision? How did you choose TCS at that point in your life? Yeah, if you can just walk me through how that process went.
Yeah, so one of the main driving factors for me choosing TCS was, again, this focus on career and post high school life. Really, I had a friend who went to TCS, and I could see that they had such a good focus and they had the resources to really spend time with us to make sure that what we wanted to do after high school was really able to be set into fruition, able to be realized and achieved. I knew I always wanted to go to medical school, but I didn't know exactly what routes there were for me. And TCS opened the opportunity and told me about the opportunity to do medical school overseas, which I'd never heard of before. And they fully supported me through that whole application process as well. So I think it was a time of choosing my career and thinking about end of high school and going to university that made me want to go to TCS at that point, just because of the dedicated and focused time that they were able to put into all of the students.
Mm-hmm. And would you say it's common for students to enroll in 1 or 2 years at the school, or are there a lot of students that do the whole whole high school experience?
It's very common to have students come for the last 2 years. I don't know the exact figures, but there's a large jump in numbers from grade 10 to 11. I think a lot of students are in the same boat. They see the way that TCS prepares students for post high school career-wise, and they want to get involved in that too. And that was my case.
Great. So I want to hear a little bit more about your overall experience at the school. If you were to draft up a resume listing all of your experiences, accomplishments, extracurriculars from your time at TCS, what would that resume look like?
Yeah, so I think it would fall into a few different categories. Firstly, academics. TCS's class sizes really allowed us to get to know our teachers so well, and for them to really be passionate about helping us achieve our goals. As you could probably tell, I'm super into science, and I did the pre-AP and the advanced placement courses in biology, chemistry, and physics. And I think the largest class size I had was 12 or 13. And I really was able to work very closely with my teachers and gain a real passion for science, and especially chemistry and biology. And I have only my teachers there to thank for that. In my grade 11 and grade 12 years, I got the academic prize for both of those subjects as well, chemistry and biology. And so I feel like that was one part of my resume. Another part is volunteering, and every December TCS has what's called Week Without Walls, and they encourage us all to go out into the community and to be a part of both the local Port Hope community and the wider community. And it's mandatory for us to have a lot of community service hours. I also did a international volunteering trip with TCS in my last year. We went to Kingston, Jamaica, and that was probably one of the highlights of my whole time in TCS. It was, we were working in an inner city school, and I was part of teaching and helping assist the teachers in a class of people who weren't able to finish high school on their own. I think it gave us such a good understanding of other cultures, made us really reflect on where we come from in Canada, such a privileged position, and allow us to connect with someone other people who you would never even think you could connect with. Another aspect of my TCS career was sports. I love playing field hockey. So I played field hockey for both my years in TCS, and I also played tennis both my years in TCS. And I was lucky enough to be the captain of the tennis team in my final year in grade 12. And that was amazing as well. Just working really closely with some of my close friends, and being able to travel to different schools for tournaments and things like that was really fun. And then lastly, as I mentioned before, I was part of Trinity Singers for both years as well, which is amazing. We did so many concerts, and we were really able to bring forward our own ideas as well, which was amazing. We were able to bring forward popular songs that were on the radio at the time and do our own renditions of those. TCS also has a lot of practice rooms that you can go and just be by yourself and practice your music there, which we loved as well, doing after school, just hanging out and jamming together. It was really fun.
Nice. So yeah, it sounds like you'd have a pretty long resume from your experience. So I'm curious, if you had to pick one thing, what did you appreciate the most out of your experience there?
I think I'd appreciate the community in a few different renditions of the word, I guess. Both the local Port Hope community. I was a day student, so I was going to school from home every day, and I had a lot of friends in the local area, which was really nice to get to know more people around me. But also the international community. TCS is a very international, global school, and I have Nigerian heritage, and it was so nice to meet people who actually grew up in Nigeria and live in Nigeria and are coming over to TCS to be a boarder, and meeting people from other countries that I would have had the chance to meet before. Yeah, so I think both the local community at TCS and bringing together the international community would be the highlight for me.
Great. And I'm curious what you think most differentiates the school from other schools. I mean, you were coming from a different school, so maybe you can speak to that. What did you find most surprising about TCS?
I found most surprising about TCS, or that differentiates TCS from the other schools, would be its size. I don't think there was more than 100 or 120 students in my year, and there was about 400 or 450 students in the whole senior school. So you got to know everyone so well. And I don't think more than 1 or 2 weeks went by without us doing something together as a whole school. We had a lot of fun half days. We had a lot of fun skate days and different school dances, and you just got to know everyone so well. And it really, again, helped to foster the sense of community. And I think that was something different. I was coming from a school of over 2,000 students. So to go from somewhere where you feel a little bit anonymous to having your own place carved out for you was a really great feeling.
Mm-hmm. And I have a bit of a creative question now. If TCS were to become personified, if you can imagine the school as a person, what are 3 personality traits that the school would have?
I think driven. Everyone at TCS is very driven and goal oriented, which is amazing. I'd say also artistic and creative. TCS, I found, is always evolving and always taking in the needs of the students to try and become a better version of itself. And then lastly, I would say spontaneous or fun. We had some of my highlights of being in TCS was just those random days, hanging out with all your friends in the lounge, or one of the days with the Winter Olympics when we all got the day off to watch the hockey team, the Canadian hockey team play. Just random bursts of fun and spontaneity would be the last one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so you sort of touched on this throughout your answers, but I'm curious, what do you think the highest values of the school are?
I think the highest values of the school would be community, coming together, like I said, as a school community, but also as a part of the local community and the global community. TCS also puts a very high value on scholarship and research. We have so many advanced placement courses and so many specialty subjects and teachers who are so passionate about different areas. So I'd say scholarship is another value of TCS. And so I've said community and scholarship, and I think, like, again, I'm reusing an answer for creativity. TCS has such a well-built drama program, arts program, music program that anyone can find their home in TCS. You won't be looking far to find something that interests you, and if you can't find it, they're happy to help you make it or create it.
Mm-hmm. And is there a typical student at the school?
No, I would not say that. I'm very quick to say not a typical student. People come from everywhere. People are all so different and diverse. Even within the housing system, each house, there are multiple houses in TCS for boarders, day students, girls and boys. And even within the houses, everyone is so different and so unique. Definitely not a typical student.
Okay, so if there's no typical student, would you say, is there one thing in common that all the students share that is maybe a character trait or links them together in a way? Is there like a character trait that is very common among students at the school?
Maybe goal-oriented. I'm not saying this in the way of maybe career-driven or super focused, but everyone knows, or everyone's able to find out what they would like and really make that their own. Yeah, and people take to heart their own special interests and niches, and they're able to really flourish there. So I think you'd be hard pressed to find a TCS student who wouldn't have some sort of avenue to really be themselves, and who's not taking advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. And so academics aside, focusing more on a personal level,
Mm-hmm.
how do you think the school shaped who you are today? It's kind of a deep question, but
Good question. I think the school gave me a lot of confidence. I came in not really knowing who I was or what I wanted out of life. And I think TCS gave me a lot of opportunities to really practice and fall on my face a couple times and give me the resources to kind of pick myself up and try again. Give me a lot of confidence in multiple ways. Like I was fortunate enough to be a peer mentor in my last year of TCS. So it gave me the chance to kind of get to know my younger peers in the housing system, and to learn what it is to be a leader and learn my abilities. And I think I came out of TCS a much more confident person. Yeah, you're able to really what's the word? You're able to really be quite creative and modify your own schedule and what you would like to do. And I think that was something that I found you're obviously doing a lot in university. You've got your own individual schedule from your friends, and no one's really telling you what to do. And I think TCS gave me a lot of confidence to know that I would be okay in that situation. And yeah.
mm-hmm. And so reflecting back on your own experience there, and keeping in mind that no school is absolutely perfect,
Yeah.
is there something that you would like changed at the school, or is there something that you wish was available to you when you were there?
I think TCS has made a real commitment to diversity, and I think continuing to have that as a goal and a forefront for the school would be amazing. I mentioned the large amount of international students that come to the school, but definitely being more diverse in terms of where people come from and people's backgrounds could be something that the school could work on, and both the students and faculty.
Yeah, for sure. And how has your perspective on the school changed over the years since graduating, now that there's some degree of separation between you and the school?
Mm-hmm. I think at the time, you'd be hard pressed to find a high school student who's completely happy with their experience. But looking back, I can see all the great things that TCS gave me, and it felt very hard at the time. You're very busy with a quite intense schedule, but that I can look back and be like, that taught me a lot of time management skills and how to balance things and how to prioritize my like your schedule. And I think at the time you can feel quite overwhelmed, but I think I look back and I'm like, I was never alone. I was never the only person in that situation. And I can really be grateful to TCS for helping me in that regard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so my last few questions are more geared towards prospective families and students. And so I guess kind of a general question, would you recommend the school to others? And if so, what are the biggest reasons why?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend the school to other students who are looking for somewhere to um, be themselves and become themselves. I think TCS has so many avenues that you can explore, and you can really make it your own. And I think it gives you a lot of confidence, a lot of ability, a lot of independence, which I don't think can be found in many other schools. Um, like I've said before, academics, arts, sports, music, drama, leadership, cultural awareness. I think it's such an amazing place to kind of be a teenager and to learn and grow, that I definitely would recommend the school. I think the combinations that you could create being at TCS is like infinite. Like you could, it's really, you could find a home for anyone there. Yeah, anyone could find home there. Mm-hmm.
Nice. And if you were leading a tour with a prospective family, what is the first thing you would want to show them?
That's a bit of a difficult question because TCS has gone under a lot of renovations since I was a student.
Right.
That a lot of the highlights of the school weren't there when I was a student. But from what I hear from my younger siblings who are still there and who've graduated recently, is that the sports complex is amazing. Probably would start there. And everyone always talks about the chapel at TCS and how beautiful it is. It's where we start our mornings every day. That's also definitely a highlight. Actually, I have an answer. I think if I was to bring someone on a tour today, I would start at Osler Hall. It's our dining hall. Everyone always says it looks like Hogwarts and Harry Potter, but I would definitely start there. It's an impressive feat of architecture, but it's also such a cozy place where you spend a lot of time with your friends. TCS is a school where you, even as a day student, you often have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the school. So you're spending a lot of time in Osler Hall, a lot of time just talking to your friends and winding down, and you even see faculty in there as well. So I'd start there. I think it's a beautiful place, and it has all along its perimeter the flags of the countries of its students and faculty. I think it's a place that you can really see TCS's diversity as well.
Nice. Good answer. And what is one piece of advice you would give to a newly enrolled student who's showing up for day one?
Advice I would give is take a deep breath. It's easy to get overwhelmed at all the things you could do and all the expectations and classes and sports teams. And take a deep breath and really enjoy your time. It goes by so quickly. Not only as someone who was there for 2 years, but I've talked to my friends who've been there since grade 5, and it goes equally as fast for them. So take a deep breath, enjoy your time. You can do it.